think it was, from Saudi.
Oh yeah.
Even though City had a lot of its multi-million pound stars playing, and they lost. And I think, there's not been criticism of Pep, of course, but it was a great surprise. And it's almost as if with last season as well that Man City have kind of peaked, and I think already they've spent a lot of money on some new players. But one thing that stuck in my mind, because you're right, I don't think this World Cup club competition, whatever it's called, is particularly popular with the teams. I don't think they relish going over there at the end of a long season, etc. But I can't remember the figure. I could be wrong on this figure, but it was in the ballpark. City lost, but they still, their prize, if you like, was £37 million, or
Yeah.
it could have been dollars, but whatever. But
Yeah.
of course, if they didn't have those incentives, the clubs who probably say, yeah, it's not something we want to do at the end of the season, before the next season, and travel all that way. But of course, they're attracted by these huge bucks, the money that is on offer. So even if you don't make the final or whatever, you're still going to make millions of dollars. So I think that's one of the reasons. But I do think, I mean, there was talk about, they're going to have more drink stops in the matches, which on exceptional days here they do that, don't they, when it gets
Yeah.
really hot.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't necessarily stop the competition, but I think there just is thinking going on about the wisdom of plotting it there in America, which includes places in America which are just too hot to play football. I mean, I guess the times they play will be late in the day, so it's a bit cooler. But I think that's going to be, well, that is one of the big issues as far as I can see.
Mm. Right. Is it was you mute? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, all right. Sorry, I thought.
Was I frozen or something?
No, I thought I was frozen. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I could
So
hear you. I could hear
yeah, yeah. So that's a very valid point,
you.
isn't it? Because I think I heard the same thing about the prize money, and it was
Yeah,
like if they'd gone a little bit further in the competition, it would have been up to
yeah,
98 million or whatever,
incredible.
97 million. Yeah, it's incredible money, isn't it? And it's a good incentive for them,
Mm.
to be able to do that. Now, I'm not sure Barcelona is in this competition, but there was a Barcelona player. Um, he was asked his opinion. I think it's called Ralphina, and he was asked his opinion about the FIFA Club World Cup, and he said, "Well, he said it's not for me because nobody asked the players um, whether they would like to be included in it because
Mm.
of the holiday, because it's their holiday. That's what he said. He said it's the players' holiday,
Yeah, yeah.
and so they're using their holiday to play rather than having their holiday. And I thought, yeah, he might have a point there. Now I don't know whether players get asked to, because it's like overtime, isn't it? From the way that he's put it, it sounds like overtime.
Mm.
And in a normal employment, or in a conventional work environment, um, I think workers do have the option of saying, well, I don't want overtime, and some workers would say, well, you know what, I want some overtime because of, I'm having
Mm.
financial problems. Now, does that apply to football with this, you know, how do they get the players to say, well, you know what, I'm going to use my holidays to then play this competition? Because mind you, they're still going to be going back to they're still going to be going back to their clubs and resuming training before the season starts
Yeah.
anyway. So it's like they don't have any breaks to enjoy, or to have breaks for themselves. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I imagine it's about contracts, what the contracts actually say. Now, as I
Yeah,
understand it, when a player comes to the end of their contract,
yeah,
that contract normally would end on the last day of the football season. It wouldn't extend into, a month or so later. So the last day of the football season, that person's contract has ended, and he's a free agent. He'll
yeah,
either go somewhere else, someone will buy him, or he won't have a club.
yeah,
But as far as ongoing contracts are concerned, excuse me, I do believe that the clubs must have some contractual ability to say, yeah, sorry, you are contracted to do this. In other words, somewhere in that initial contract they've signed,
yeah,
amongst everything else, it will be if we were to qualify for such and such a competition, i.e., the World Club Championship, you will
yeah,
be required to come to wherever it's going to be in
yeah,
America. So I don't believe it's a matter of saying to the players, well, would you like to come along, fellas? And no, I think they are committed. And it's a bit like, I mean, for a long time, players have not liked having to train on Christmas Day, which in the Premier League,
yeah,
they've had to for years. And if indeed that's one of the things that players who come here from Europe or South America, they say, God, we never had games over Christmas, and we had time off with our families, which you
yeah,
can understand them wanting that like everybody else does. But in England, I think or in Britain, I don't know about the Scots, whether they do the same,
yeah,
but it's always been, there's a Boxing Day game, so you've got to train on Christmas morning, with all that means. And I suppose, although I can see a player's point of view, if you are actually in the Premier League in one of the top clubs, then I think with the money they earn, and with the fact they don't work a full day, a full 8-hour day or something, they come in
yeah,
for a couple of hours training, maybe a bit more sometimes, and that's probably no more than 4 days a week. They have plenty of time off to sort of counter the argument of someone who says, oh, that's our holiday time. The only thing I would say is that a season for a regular player is a grueling season. It goes over
yeah,
9 months or whatever. And football, whether people accept it or not, is a physically very, very tough game. Like all of
yeah.
the top sportsmen in different sports, it's quite incredible. Most people could not really play Premier League football, however good they think they are. It's too